Ms. Carter, please stand. This court, having reviewed the evidence and applied the law thereto, now finds you guilty on the indictment charging you with the involuntary manslaughter of the person Conrad Roy III. This court further finds that the Commonwealth has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that you are a youthful offender and you are a judge sole at this time. You may be seated. That verdict is now recorded and it is in writing as well. Commonwealth, do you wish to be heard?
The Commonwealth moves for sentencing, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
The Commonwealth moves for sentencing.
Sentencing is not appropriate at this time.
Breaking, girl convicted of manslaughter for causing teen's death with a text message. By Matt Agarist, June 16, 2017. Taunton Ma, in the land of the free, you can and will be charged and convicted of manslaughter for texting your teenage boyfriend and telling him to kill himself. No physical action was needed on the part of Michelle Carter, then 17, to be complicit in her boyfriend's death other than sending text over the digital ether to be read by the troubled teen. According to the AP, Juvenile Court Judge Lawrence Moniz found that Michelle Carter caused the death of Conrad Roy III, who intentionally filled his truck with carbon monoxide in a store parking lot in July 2014. Carter cried and clutched a handkerchief to her face as Moniz detailed her conduct in explaining how he reached his verdict, but she was stoic when it was formally pronounced. The court based their case on the fact that as a 18-year-old Roy climbed out of the truck as it filled with the poisonous gas and told Carter he was scared, she told him, via text message, to get back in. This court finds that instructing Mr. Roy to get back in the truck constitutes wanton and reckless conduct by Ms. Carter, the judge said. As the AP reports, Carter's lawyer, Joseph Cataldo, argued Roy had a history of depression and suicide attempts and was determined to end his own life. He said Carter initially tried to talk Roy out of it and urged him to get professional help, but eventually went along with his plan. However, the judge disagreed. He refused to take into account in his verdict any of Roy's previous suicide attempts. Read more, "They're going to come after me." Cop in Sandra Bland case says he was threatened into silence. While it was certainly careless of Carter not to call the police and inform them of Roy's attempt at suicide, she was a 17-year-old child when it happened. Also, according to Dr. Peter Bregan, a psychiatrist testifying for the defense, Carter was taking Celexa at the time, a drug that targets the brain's frontal lobe which controls empathy. Bregan explained, noting the seriousness of the text messages, that Carter was under the impression that she alone could guide Roy to heaven and she would care for his family. "I thought you wanted to do this. The time is right and you're ready, you just need to do it," Carter wrote in one message. "You can't think about it. You just have to do it. You said you were gonna do it. Like I don't get why you aren't," Carter wrote to Roy the day of his suicide. Although prosecutors argued that the above texts support their erroneous claims that Carter is responsible for Roy's death, they appear to be based more on concern than malicious intent. However, that is irrelevant. Even if Carter was sending texts to Roy every hour on the hour telling him to kill himself over and over again, she would still never be complicit in harming a single hair on Roy's head. The court, in this case, would do well to review the old children's adage, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They would also do well to remember what their mothers asked them when they tried to blame someone else for their actions as a child. If someone tells you to jump off a bridge, are you going to do it? Read more. Cops threaten to kill man's dogs for not letting them illegally search his home. Luckily, the ACLU agrees. The American Civil Liberties Union denounced the conviction, saying it exceeds the limits of our criminal laws and violates free speech protections guaranteed by the Massachusetts and U.S. constitutions. As the AP reports, Matthew Siegel, the ACLU's legal director for Massachusetts, called Roy's suicide tragic but said, "It is not a reason to stretch the boundaries of our criminal laws or abandon the protections of our Constitution. The dangerous precedent set in this case is a de facto attack on the freedom of speech, and this ruling should be appealed immediately." After the verdict, the judge ruled that Carter, who is now 20, can remain free on bail until her sentencing on August 3. For sending a text message, she now faces up to 20 years in a cage.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.